Good afternoon. Thank you for being here this afternoon. My name is Abdubaki Bukari, and I'm your host. Today, we are pleased to welcome the next chapter host and producer, Minister Catherine Warren. We call her Kitty Rose, to our beautiful studio at Mercy College. During our talk show, Minister Catherine will share with us her traveling experience in Senegal, West Africa, and finally, I will ask her perspectives on the multiple cultural continents of North America and Africa. So start off, Minister Catherine, can you please introduce yourself to our viewer and tell me a little more about yourself?
Well, thank you so much, Baki, for having me on your show. I definitely think that Africa is awesome. Today, TV show is a beautiful show to come on and share about my experience that I just recently had going to Senegal, West Africa. So thank you so much for allowing me to come on your show today.
You're very welcome.
As you said, I am Minister Cat. I haven't really grown into the Catherine yet, maybe in 2 years when I turn 50. But as of now, to be short, Minister Cat, or like you said, Kitty Rose, is what everyone calls me. And I started a few years ago as a TV producer, and with being a TV producer, I just got into film and other types of mediums in the production or television world. Using my public access relationship with BronxNet to start is how I started to maneuver into these other aspects of my life, and recently becoming an empty nester is why my new show that I'm producing on BronxNet is called The Next Chapter, because now I'm entering the next chapter of my life as an empty nester.
Okay, that's very good. Or can you tell me about the inspiration behind Next Chapter?
Not knowing what to do now that I don't have kids in the house, and feeling that I wasn't alone in being clueless, and understanding that if I'm not alone being clueless, that there could be so many other people that was clueless going through their next chapter, if it so happened to be an empty nester type of syndrome, but just in general, these next chapters that we have in our lives when we turn 20s, when we go into our 30s, when we go into our 40s, how to actually navigate. And I just wanted to continue to use my experience to help others figure out that these next chapters aren't things to be afraid of.
I love that. That's very good. So before COVID-19, you used to record your show in BronxNet studio. Unfortunately, because of COVID-19 virus contamination, BronxNet has closed the physical, the physical studio for 2 years. So during that period of time, how did you adapt the situation?
I didn't. I saw all the programs that was happening on BronxNet from everyone's virtual home and virtual studios, but I fought against the virtual world for a long time. I got depressed. I miss coming into the studio. I miss being in the field, miss working with people. So I didn't want to conform to the virtual world, but I did that for a whole year, 2021. And at the end of 2021, I said, Cat, you can't do that in 2022. You got to figure out something and get back and either conform or figure out something else, because you can't spend another year not doing anything. And that's actually what I did. 2020, I went and stayed with family. But 2021, I could not get out of the funk of what was now becoming our new normal.
Okay, I see. I see. So, few months ago, you went to Senegal, West Africa. Can you tell us a little bit about that trip?
I sure can, because that is the power of manifestation. That's the power of God in my life. Because when I said to myself at the end of the year, Kat, you got to figure out what you're going to do. You can't go into another year not doing anything. I said, okay, well, I want to travel. You know, I'm coming into this healing part of my life as a healer, wanting to help people. So, you know, where do you want to do these things? I did some traveling last year, but the gentleman that I'm now dating, he said, you know, well, if we're going to go anywhere out the continent, the first place we need to go to is Africa. No African American should go anywhere first outside of the continent of the United States before going back home to Africa. So I went to this meeting with the Harlem Tourism Board about traveling, and 2 months later, I was on the roster for a fam trip that Senegal put together, the Senegal Tourism Board put together to bring a delegation from the Harlem Tourism Board over to Senegal so that they can merge or build that bridge that gap of Americans coming to Senegal in particular, but the African continent. Yes, black descent and Caribbean descent. Because, you know, white folks travel all the time to Africa. You know what I mean? But we don't. But we'll go quick to Mexico, Puerto Rico, Jamaica. We'll even go quick to Europe before we go to Africa. But I think because we think Africa is 14, 16, 20 hours away, but we're now going to Dubai, but nobody's going to Africa. So I think that spiritually, because so many people follow me from that human perspective, that I was able to break down the stereotypes of Africa. Let that be my first experience out the country, and build a relationship with folks that look and act just like me, that I might have not been able to do the way that I did.
I have some pictures of you, so you're gonna comment each picture, okay?
Okay.
So what is here?
Well, this I wanted to show because you see, and that's the opportunity I got. I got the opportunity to film and document this trip. And I did that because of my experience and certifications from BronxNet, learning how to use the camera, but now being able to transition the big cameras, the Canons, into like cell phone devices now. So that's me actually at one of the more Euro hotel. But I wanted to show that as a camera woman, you not always standing. You know, you got to find your spot and just shoot.
Okay. Next picture.
Every tourist attraction want to go see that damn statue. You know what I'm saying? So I was really showing it to show the statue and the steps to get to the statue that everybody goes to, the Statue of the Family, which is in direct correlation to the Statue of Liberty. But this statue, I think, is the biggest one in the world or some shit like that. Oh, I'm sorry. I can't curse on your show.
No, that's good.
But it's the biggest in Senegal, but I think it's actually one of the biggest. But it's directly facing the Statue of Liberty. So I thought that was dope because the Statue of Liberty is supposed to represent freedom, and this is all supposed to represent freedom, but as a family.
Next. Oh, who's this guy?
We went to the tapestry, but you weren't allowed to photo video. So I wanted to show that as a production person, you got to be versatile. So if you can't film, you can do audio.
Oh, okay. I see. So you interviewed the guy.
Yes, I'm doing audio so that because I'm going to make a film of my experience. So I wanted to maybe be able to use what he talked about at the tapestry, maybe as some voiceover. But I don't know. It's just, why not have it, then not have it, since I wasn't able to do any video.
Okay.
Oh, we got that stretched out a little bit, but that's me at Goree Island, at the top of the highest point of Goree Island, which was a very emotional but beautiful but inspiring day, because that day that we went to Goree Island, not only did we go to Goree, I mean, they pulled out the stops for us. So we met with the mayor of Goree Island. I sat with him and we took pictures with him. So that was like, we was treated like royalty. It was beautiful, but it was also sad, you know, because we actually got a chance. I went into the slave castle. So that was very emotional.
Okay, that's very good. Next one.
That is me at the safari.
Okay.
But again, I'm just showing the versatility in filming. That's why I submitted that picture, because I got to go to the griots.
Yeah.
Because I do consider myself a griot of our pain. So I got a chance to pray by the griot tree and the griot grave. So that was very emotional, because I don't know really how I feel about, I don't talk to the dead, because the scriptures say that the dead is conscious of nothing.
Yeah.
But I know that we are connected through spirit and ancestral energy.
Okay.
So I wanted to see if I can connect to the ancestors of my griots, and see if I could give some of that spirit to myself.
That's good. Next one. Yes. The beach.
The beach. The beach. Okay. Yo, that's complete ignorance. And I'm okay with that. Because Africa, like every continent, is surrounded by water. But how I didn't connect that Africa has beaches. So Africa has beaches. And
you want to let them know, okay?
Oh my God. They have beaches and clean beaches. Okay. I mean, don't get it twisted. I went to go see where the bird sanctuary. So you really got to see how loitering really does infect the environment. People don't realize that trash you throw on the floor, if it doesn't get picked up, the wind just blows it, and it ends up in the ocean. And you don't realize the ocean is the globe. So it's going to go on the lands or floors of everywhere. So to see the litter in those areas, but generally, no, the beaches were beautiful. They weren't like Coney Island. You know what I'm saying? It was beautiful. Look at the sand. Look at the sand. And I brought some sand home.
Okay. Next one. Wow.
Goree Island.
Sorry. Just remind you something else.
Imagine, all I'm going to say is, imagine living in that. For weeks and months. That's all. Imagine living, and with no clothes. You know what I'm saying? Throwing food on top of each other, because they were, 10 to 30 at a time in a cave. And there were different caves. There was caves for the men, caves for the children, and caves for the women, and caves for virgins. But there was no light. That's and then at the end is the door of no return.
It's very sad.
But
how did you feel when you first saw this?
I could feel them. I could, scared, confused, angry, but how I'm gonna get out, what I could do. You know what I'm saying? Because 30 of them in one cave, you know they was figuring out every day how to get out. Because that's what we do as people. We figure out how we can escape, how we can maneuver, how we can take care of each other. Because also the other component to that is they had to take care of each other. So as sad as I was still kind of encouraged, because in order to get through that, you had to rely on your fellow brother.
So we have few pictures to share, but right now we're going to go to the PSA. And when we come back, so we're going to continue.
Cool.
All right.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.